So just wanted to tell you a little bit about me. My name is Claudette Monet. I'm a local talent here in the DC area. I'm originally from Tallahassee, Florida. I'm a vocalist, and I like to say that I'm an entertainer also. I do a little bit of R&B, a little bit of soul, and a little bit of funk, and maybe a little bit of rock. I'm a preacher's kid. I grew up in the South, of course, and it kind of began in church with my mother and my father forcing me to sing in church, and I kind of got pushed out there. After that, I entered a couple of pageants that a few ladies in the community asked me to join, and I won. And I was always musically inclined. I played the flute for several years, and then I began singing. Once I started singing, I put the flute down. I did a little bit of modeling also for a few hair magazines, and I'm also a cosmetologist. Let's see, there's a few more things about me. I've opened up for several major acts. I've been with some major league people, and it looks like I'm coming full circle and going to begin to do this thing all over again. You'll probably see me performing around the area, which I've already have been. You may see me in a couple of magazines and more. As a vocalist and an entertainer, I've been influenced by several wonderful, talented artists that are still here and yet gone on. I've had the opportunity of working with some major acts again, and in this business, it's pretty crazy for a woman. And I learned that you have to kind of stay humble and prepare yourself for anything that could pop off any second. I can remember times prior to going on stage, you know, we women tend to worry about our hair and our makeup, but it's all in the essence of being on stage and pleasing the crowd and delivering a message and making people smile. So that's my biggest thing with being an entertainer. I learned a lot from Whitney Houston to Aretha Franklin, maybe even the Clark sisters, to Kim Burrell, from Al Green to Beyonce, to all the new acts that are out now. We just have to focus on making people happy and delivering a part of you to the world and expressing your art, and that's basically what I'm here for. My experience in relationships and dating, it's a little bit different for me. Back when I lived in Florida, it was a little bit easier. I met a lot of nice people because, you know, it was a college town, and people always tend to gravitate toward me because I'm always smiling with the Southern mentality. Now it's a little bit different because I'm so busy. I don't have really a lot of time to focus on dating as much. So I tend to stay to myself. I'm a little bit more reserved now, but I am open to meeting new people. It's a little bit different to meeting people here because everybody's running rampant trying to do their thing along with myself. But I think there are a lot of refreshing people here. There's a lot of culture to learn from men and women and everybody here, and that's my whole thing in dating and relationships right now. Kind of doing the solo thing. What caused me to actually leave Tallahassee? I have a little boy, and I wanted him to be closer to his father so he can have both parents. So I moved to the area that way, that in order for him to have both parents in the same location, and to learn more academically and culturally, and in any ways possible to have him know more than I know. Because coming from a small town, I hate to refer back to that, you tend to get sheltered. You don't get exposed to a lot of things, but it also makes you a wholesome, refreshing, humble person to come from a small area and to come to a bigger area to learn more about life in general. I moved part of my family here, a couple of people in my family, and I was ready to grow. From Tallahassee to Washington, D.C. was a big jump for me. I wanted to get into TV, and I wanted to get into news, ironically, and also journalism. Singing was something that took precedence over all of that. But I think that I've been culturized more, learned more about politics, learned more about a faster paced life, and I'm actually finding this area a bit more refreshing than when I first got here, as I was trying to understand why nobody was smiling like I was coming from the South and saying hi. But now it's a little bit different. I've gained a lot of interesting friends and interesting colleagues in the business that I've chosen. And hopefully I'll gain even more in this circuit as far as television and news type environment. I think DC is refreshing, and it's making me grow even more and becoming a better person. As my transition with coming from Tallahassee to DC, and as far as career wise, I did the I'm a former student of Florida State University. And I wanted to expand, and I was doing the corporate America thing. I worked for a couple of associations, I worked for a magazine, worked for several people, but I wanted to express the music. The music kept calling me, and a lot of people found out that I sing. And in that aspect, I eventually met a gentleman who is the father of a famous singer. Her name is Maya, and he introduced me to the whole circuit of performing for weddings, bar mitzvahs, company parties, all types of productions. Once I got into that, I kind of slid out of the corporate thing, and for the past 2 years now I've been singing for a living, and I'm expanding that into other areas. I think that the images have been portrayed on TV. People have their fantasies and they dream of being with a singer, and it's very sweet and very I appreciate the compliment. I get a lot of people that just want to talk to me because I'm a talker, obviously. But really, I sing and entertain simply, again, for the people. But I'm really, it's easier to get closer to me outside of the music. I've learned that it's not very easy to date in this field with someone that does similar things. It turns into a little bit more of a comparison type thing. So it really depends on the person and how you connect with the person. If you all connect on another level outside of your music, because music always connects us all. If you connect on another level, then I think that's possible. I don't think it's impossible, but in my experience, it's not very easy dating someone that is in the same exact business as myself. Meeting people, again, is a little bit difficult to me because most people work in the daytime and I usually work at night. At daytime, I'm usually being creative and making phone calls and making sure I have things lined up for that night or the next week. But it would be great to meet people who are in maybe Congress or, or some CEO, but they tend to, there's a parallel difference in the fact that I'm a singer by night and they're a 9-to-5er, so it's hard to connect because the schedules hardly ever connect. But if it's the right person and we see eye to eye on something, because I like politics to a certain degree and I like to know what's going on in current events, and I'm quite sure everyone likes music, so I think that's possible. It just hasn't happened yet. I haven't really had the opportunity to squeeze the whole journalism thing and put it into effect, but my plans are to write a book. It could possibly be a biography, and it could possibly be fictional. I have several stories to tell. Hopefully at some point maybe I can advance to some form of a magazine, possibly online, possibly in the stores. I like to write about my experiences in the business and in corporate America, and my opinions on things and other women's opinions on things, male opinions. Sky's the limit. I like to talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of things on my mind that I'd like to share in writing altogether. in doing this type of work, I think right now I'm getting the opportunity to express myself in journalism and reaching the endeavors that I plan to with writing a book, writing my songs, coming up with new ideas for discussions for an open forum, and sharing what I think and you sharing what you think, I think would be great ways of enhancing what I would like to express. In doing so, I can express myself and the way I think and how I see things and the way that you see things in all aspects. We can both share our ideas and how our minds work between journalism and this show and some of my songs. So I think communication, I have a big thing with communication, and I think communication is the key to everything. And expressing, I think a lot of people have a tendency of having a hard time expressing themselves. They feel like they have to close themselves in, and that's not me. I'm pretty much an open book, and I like to see people show love and expression in their thoughts and their ideas and their opinions. You would be surprised. I would actually talk to a bum on the street and listen to what is on his mind just as well as I can talk to a man that's dressed in a suit that has everything lined up perfectly together. But for some strange reason, if you talk to someone who's been through a rough time or looks like they've been through a rough time, they can tell you some things you never thought that they knew or you knew or have seen, heard in your life. You can reach me at Claudette Monet Music, CLAUDETTEMONET, and just leave me a message and we'll talk about some of the things that you have on your mind. You can Google me at CLAUDETTEMONETMUSIC. I am very receptive. I'm pretty much an open book. You didn't believe me?
You are not ready to discuss any form or conversation. No, you're not. You're ready to discuss soft conversations.
Here, I'm gonna kill you.
Okay? But now I can discuss anything. Oh, yeah.
I'm hungry. Now we can talk about food all day long.